Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. It's Stamp Ventures with Shauna, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Moose Jaw, Canada. Welcome to my stamping presentation this morning. I'm going to be doing a quick card. It has a Christmas theme. And I'm going to be using a little bit of copper foil paper for this card. I should say I'm using copper foil and Night of Navy. And my inspiration to use these two colors is some of the designer paper that's from our holiday catalog. I'll show you which one I mean. Hopefully I can find it fairly quickly here. It's some of the paper that we had in last year's Christmas catalog as well. Let's see if I can flip to the right page here. Okay. I should have had it marked, but yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. All right, yeah, there it is, the brightly gleaming specialty paper. Here they've combined copper foil and Night of Navy, and I thought it's just such a beautiful combination. And so that's where my inspiration came from for today. So I need to say hello to some people. They're just logging on. I think Sheila and Susan have joined me, and there may be a few others. I just realized when I set up, I totally forgot to bring my iPad out here. Oh, I'm really out of routine here this morning, but that's okay. I'm gonna go back after and I'll look at your messages and I'll say hello to you. And so I'm not ignoring you. I just I'll check later with the messages and catch up with you then. So blue and copper is what I decided to start with, and because our beautiful foil papers are a little bit maybe a little bit more expensive. Actually, they're not that expensive for one package, but you get a smaller amount in it. You only get two 12 by 12 sheets. You want to make the best use of the foil paper. And so one of my suggestions, and a lot of you already know this, is that if you're going to punch something in a coordinating color out of the foil, and you've got a layer with the foil is just going to be a layer that you're going to see the outer edges of. My first tip is to punch those pieces from the center of your layer, so you're making good use of that one foil piece that's going to get covered up. The other thing you could do is, if you have, say, the square dies or stitched rectangle dies, you could cut out a smaller rectangle in the middle and you have another piece to use on another project. So always good to make the best use of your foil papers. So this is going to be my one layer, and then on top of that I will be stamping on a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And today I'll be using the Sweetest Time stamp set. Just this past week and also next week I'm doing an event. My Stampin' team member Tammy and I, we are doing an event with this Sweetest Time stamp set, and making a few different Christmas cards with them. Everybody who joined the event purchased this, and we shared 4 cards, made 4 cards with them. It was actually an online event that we did. It was Zoom last week, and this coming up week it's going to be on Facebook on a special private group for our event members. And so I'm just coming up with a few more cards using this stamp set, so the people who have purchased it have some more ideas for it. And yeah, it's got some really nice words, and you could use these words not just with these candles and candy canes and whatnot in this stamp set. You could definitely mix and match it with other stamp sets that are out there. And one of the things that I learned when I was getting ready for the class for this past week and this coming up next week is that if you're using copper and you either A, don't have copper embossing powder, or B, you want to do something that's faster than using a copper embossing powder, that there is a really quick way to achieve a somewhat coppery look, but not have to do all of the, all the little things, the extra steps that come with heat embossing. And that is grab a cinnamon cider ink pad. I was really pleased to discover that cinnamon cider is a really nice companion to the copper foil paper. So I'm going to be using that, plus I'll be using Night of Navy as well here. So, all right, let's get started stamping. So first off, I've got these lovely words, all is calm, all is bright. And so I will ink those up. Let's see, you know what? I think I'm gonna ink them up in navy because I want to have a little bit of contrast between the coppery, cinnamony color and the navy. And I'm going to stamp it right along the bottom of my Whisper White piece. The Whisper White piece is 5 by 3 3/4 inches. The copper foil, which I've already punched my some of my embellishments out with, or my punched pieces out, is 4 by 5 1/4. I think I got that right. Yeah, 5 1/4 by 4 and 5 by 3 3/4. All right. You know what? It's coffee break stamping, and I realize what the problem is. I haven't made myself my coffee. All right, well, we'll get through this. So all is calm, all is bright, and I'm going to put this right close to the bottom because I want some room at the top for candles. So there we go. Yay, all right. Oh, did you see it? There we are. I'm still in my bathrobe. Yeah, there it is, my fluffy, fuzzy bathrobe. Anybody else out there still in their jammies? Let me know. It's a jammy kind of morning for me. All right, now I'm also going to ink up the candles. I'm going to ink those up in Night of Navy as well. And because they're so big, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to pat the ink pad on top. It's easy for me to see if I'm getting a really good coverage on the stamps. There we go, all nice and even little droplets of ink. And okay, where I know I had it, so here it is. So I've got this foam mat. This one's from my Stamparatus, but you can even use something like Fun Foam. When you're stamping with photopolymer stamps and you want to get a really good image, photopolymer stamps don't have the layer of foam in there that our rubber stamps do, and that makes quite a big difference. So putting something with a little bit of give underneath, like a foam mat or Fun Foam, or even a catalog with just a bit of give, can make a difference. All right, so here we go. Hopefully you can still see this. I'm not hooked up to my iPad today, guys, so if you're saying hello, I will go back and catch your hello later when I watch the comments. Okay, give it a good push right into the foam. That makes sure that all pieces of my candle have made contact. There we go. Yay. Okay, so I mentioned cinnamon cider, and so here's the trick. I'm using cinnamon cider for the candles here at not for the flames of the candles. So the neat thing about this stamp set is there are 3 flame stamps, and they're like little individual flame pieces, and you can use them one at a time like I'm going to today. But if you were doing a bunch of these cards, making mass producing Christmas cards, you could line, they're so sticky, it wants to stick to my fingers here. You could line the candles up. Sorry, I keep saying the candles, and I mean the flames. You could line the flames up, 1, 2, 3. I'm just using 2 because my third one is already on this little block. And then you can, okay, this has my stamp from what I just used, but you could take a clear block, and with those 3, you'd pick up the candles in their spot, and then every time after you've stamped your candles, you can go back and stamp, boom, 3 flames, boom, 3 flames, boom, 3 flames. So I thought that was neat how Stampin' Up! Made that choice to put the three flames in there. You can use them separate, or you can use them together depending on the project that you're doing. But yeah, I've just got the 1 flame here today, and here it is. Here is 1, 2, 3. Oops, felt like I kind of went off to the side on that one. And yeah, so here is my copper foil. Look at how nicely that coordinates. Yeah, cinnamon cider is great to coordinate with the copper foil. And now there's something else I was thinking. So a couple more suggestions about the flames. If you want them to look less, what's the word I want? If you want the flames to look a little bit more, not as solid, but a little bit more gaseous, that's the word. Here's another suggestion, gaseous. I know that's a word. It sounds weird. It sounds like you've got a bad tummy problems or something. But you can do a flame that's, you know, first stamping cinnamon cider, or you can stamp off and you can make your flame the second stamping off look. And it's neat because you get a little bit of an outlined edge, and it's softer in the middle. So I think that looks really cool too. If you want a little bit more of sort of a ghosty, gassy kind of look to the flame, you don't have to use the first inking. You can stamp off and use the second amount of ink on there and get a little bit more of that ghosty, halo-y kind of color on it. So that's just another suggestion for the flames. All right, so we're gonna layer this up here like this. I hope my glue is working for me today. When I used it for the event this past week, it was a little bit stuck, and then I really squeezed it and I had whole bunch come out at once. There we go. We're on a good path again for getting the glue out. If you've just joined me, I mentioned to the others earlier that I'm not hooked up to the iPad, so I'm not seeing your comments right now. But I'll come back in and say hello to you in just a little bit when the video is over and I have a chance to read everybody's comments. All right, so then we've got just a regular Night of Navy card base. This is going to go on. I think I'm getting to the end of this particular glue bottle. Well, there's still some, but it's starting to fade out in places. Okay, so there we go. Now, I'm not done yet. As you know, I punched out these Oh, silly me. You know what? I meant to punch out 4 of these, and I only punched out 2. Okay, so that means I need to go to my copper scraps and grab another little piece of copper so I can punch out 2 more. So when you make this card, if you're doing it, don't just punch 2 pieces of copper sprigs. You want 4. You could use 2. I mean, not saying that you can't. Well, maybe I will today. I'll go with the 2 for now. But 4 makes it even more filled in with the foliage, and yeah, I think it just looks even nicer. I'll go with this for now. So I've got my little flower, my little blossom punch. Just gonna punch a flower there, and let's see, I need one of these adhesive backed, this is an adhesive backed blue gem, and they are amazing. These iridescent ones are amazing with the blue and the copper because they pick up both the tones. They pick up blue and they pick up copper as well. Like it's just, I'm really, yeah, using this whole copper blue combination has just really made me happy these last couple of weeks. It's been a really nice combo. Okay, so this is going to go right in there like that. That's how my card is going to come together. And I think I'll probably use just a little bit of the, again, the liquid adhesive to put on the backs of my sprigs. And here we go. As I stood up to grab something, I think I saw a comment that somebody else out there is still in their jammies too. Thank you. You're making me feel all right. Yeah, it's just been one of those mornings. Well, it was one of those nights where I laid down, tried to lie down 3 different times and go to sleep, and it wasn't happening. So I need to have a long walk today and relax and read, and we'll be all back to normal again. Okay, so I'm not putting these sprigs right touching each other. I want them to spread out just a little bit past the candles, and there will be room for the flower in the middle there. So when I'm making these cards and using, because I've made a couple with blue candles, I like the blue candles, they make me think of a Christmas song. Do any of you ever get little, phrases going through your heads from certain pieces? Well, this is the one that's going through my head. Blue and silver candles that would just match the hair on Grandma's wig. That's what's going through my mind right now when I see the blue, and it's not silver, it's blue and copper candles that would just have matched the hair on Grandma's wig. Does anybody have a guess of which Christmas song that's from? Put it in the comments if you can think of which song it is, because it's just one of those silly random things that has been going through my head when I see this these blue candles. But they're lovely. I think blue is, you see, I think a lot of samples out on Facebook have used red for the candles, and those are lovely too. They're bright and bold and cheerful and Christmassy. And the blue is just yeah, I don't know, it's a more elegant look on, and a take on it. So, okay, so here's my little blossom punch going in the middle with its pretty gem, and ta-da, there we go. That is this morning's Coffee Break stamping card. And maybe I've got you starting to think about your Christmas cards, my friend Leanne from Kindersley, Saskatchewan said, it's posted yesterday, it's 3 months until Christmas. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is. And now that I've made this card, I'm kind of like, gee, maybe I should make this for our family Christmas card this year. I think it would be something that would be quite doable, and the copper makes me happy. And like I said, if you're needing a color to match the copper, and you don't want to go to all the extra steps of doing heat embossing, wow, the cinnamon cider can be your best friend. So have a great weekend, everyone. Hope you have a good couple of days. It's going to be windy here, but what's new, right? And we'll talk to you again another time. Bye for now.